everybody. Welcome to Otaku Saga. I'm Zero.
I'm DK.
And I'm Rizzo, and today on Anime Reaction, we watch the TV special, Fate Grand Order, First Order.
Big Order?
No, it's better than that. If you want to check out our reaction to the TV special, Fate Grand Order, First Order, hit that link in the description below.
And be sure to give us feedback in the comment section because we love hearing from you.
And as always, if you like what you see, subscribe to Otaku Saga. And don't forget to like and share our videos.
And thanks for watching.
Woohoo! NASU-VERSE is back!
Let's start off by saying Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year, everybody. Fate Grand Order First Order, which was a New Year's special in Japan.
Ballsy, trying to compete with Gaki no Tsukai, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that special to come out.
Yeah. Fate Grand Order First Order. It's very obviously trying to set up another, I guess, series, maybe? It's either going to be a series or a series of OVAs. But let's see.
So, what was it? Chaldea.
The good guys.
Chaldea.
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 So we're
Chaldea.
introduced to Chaldea, which is basically a contraption organization.
I think it's a little bit of both. So basically, I think it's the organization that's named after that
device.
That device.
Sort of, Hemisphere, that was the word? It kind of reminds me of that sort of like stargazing globe or something.
I don't know.
But it's like a lens into the future that predicts the status of human civilization. So as long as it's lit up, humanity will survive at least another 100 years. So naturally, the story begins with it fading.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's got to be the conflict there. But we're introduced to our two main characters. First, we have Mash, who is a very much a Dandara. We see her sitting in a window, I guess, reading off a tablet. And then she is alerted by the mascot character, which I'm very annoyed with. I don't like mascots in general.
I don't mind this one because it's very...
It's just an animal.
It's not like it gets up in your face or anything. But,
or tries to put down the main character constantly.
Yeah, it's a cute carbuncle.
I shall call him hard gay from now on because it makes the noise. Woo! So, there you go.
Yeah. But it alerts MASH to the fact that Fujimaru, our male main character, is passed out on the floor, which I'm still a little confused about that whole setup, but...
Yeah, you're right. You think they would have, put him through the front door, checked him in, showed him to his room in the institution, but they just dump him in the hallway.
Gave him a quick debriefing, shit like that.
Yeah, that first meeting did awkwardly set up.
Yeah, it really did. It was, I don't know. Yeah, it was just weird the way that they decided to do it, because basically he showed up there, he talked with Mash for a second, then she was like, oh, hey, we have to go to the briefing for the first mission. What? Okay.
Yeah, then he was, said he was in some simulation, and that's why he passed out, but you think if that were the case, they'd take him to an infirmary or something. You know, common sense. There apparently is none here.
But so anyway, he's taken to the mission debriefing, which is basically him and 47 other master candidates.
Yeah.
Potentials.
Not even mages, just people with magic circuits.
Yeah.
At this point.
Well, not only that, but they also have to have the potential to become a master, which not everybody, even with magic circuits, does.
Right.
Because, there was, I think it was in Fate Zero that at first the guy who, I forgot what, the guy with all the worms.
Dang it. With the worms. That was the caster, right?
No. Well, no, it was. God, I forget his name. He was the master for the Matoi family.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
But at first he was incapable of being a master.
Yeah.
The whole reason for the worms was to force him to be a master.
Right. Okay.
Which that whole thing gets into stuff that happened in Fate Stay Night, Heaven's Feel arc.
Yeah.
So.
But even though he was a mage,
he wasn't.
He couldn't be a master.
Yeah, he wasn't. Didn't have the ability to become a master at first.
So it happens. We're also introduced to our director,
Olga
Maria Emisphere.
Oh, wow.
Wow. I actually remember that, which is surprising.
It's a very annoying name that I remembered right off the bat.
Because it was
annoying.
so there you go. If you want Zero to remember the name of a character, make them utterly unlikable for very much of the time.
But yeah, basically, Fujimaru ends up falling asleep in the meeting.
Mistake number one. Or
it just goes back to the whole thing. Like they seem to have summoned him there, like right away, and then immediately was like, "Oh, go to this meeting and make sure you pay attention." And so he passes out. So she kicks him out of the first mission. Mash shows him to his room where he meets the doctor, whose name? Yeah, Romani. Dr. Roman. And Dr. Roman explains some more things about what's going on there.
It was nice setup for the exposition. Probably could have done just. I think that they probably could have done a little bit better job with the exposition with MASH.
I know. I'm starting to get the feeling that they planned for this maybe to be a series, but only got a deal for a TV special instead.
Yeah. I think that we're gonna give over to our feelings about it later on. But as we continue on,
oh yeah, we had also before the meeting he had met the
Professor
engineer, Professor Leff. Basically, he's the mage who created the Chaldea, which is the globe thing that keeps track of
just how
humanity's possibility for the next 100 years to survive or whatever. But so while Fujimaru and Dr. Roman are sitting in Fujimaru's room, Dr. Leff calls Dr. Roman down to the where they're doing the mission
control room.
Yeah, down in a control room so that he can, I guess, that word, anesthetize.
Put to sleep.
Yeah, basically make people go to sleep so that they can
go in the
ray shift.
Yeah, ray shift better.
Ray shift better.
They don't have to experience it.
Yeah, but while he's getting ready to leave the room, there's an explosion, and so they rush down to the control room, where they find that it's on fire.
Lovely.
Go figure. And then so Dr. Roman basically tells Fujimaru to get out of there, and he goes up to the actual control room, what I would call a control room, not necessarily the floor area.
But of course, being the hero he is, he has to go.
Well, he remembers that Mash was down there, so he goes to find
her.
her and finds her half crushed under a giant fucking rock.
Mash was mashed, yo.
Yeah.
So of course he tries to pull the rock up, doesn't work. And then the blast door's shut.
So he's sealed in.
So he decides to sit with her while she dies.
I do like the little bits in the background though, because you get to hear the automated system start calling out little details on we're going to start this. Okay, we're searching.
Oh yeah,
Searching for potentials. Searching for potentials.
yeah. The race shift is still happening.
Yep.
So there's that.
Yeah.
to consider.
You get to see different. You get to hear protocols activating, and
That does a better job as a exposition, I think, than the whole setup in the first couple scenes.
Yeah, to be honest. But yeah, so then next scene we get Fujimaru waking up in a burning Fubuki city in 2004.
In the aftermath of the Fifth Holy not
really.
But
So I was kind of conjecturing during the whole thing that this was they've when it showed corrupted Saber, I was like, oh, okay, so it's showing bits from the Heaven's Feel arc. Well, it wasn't doing that. For some reason, Saber was corrupted, and we find out why that was a little bit later, but I won't go into that. But basically, from what it shows us, Saber's the same, Archer's the same, Berserker's the same.
Assassin's the assassin from Fate Zero.
Assassin's the assassins from Fate Zero. Lancer is Rider from Fate Stay Night. Caster is Lancer from Fate Stay Night.
Cuchulain.
And what was the other one? I think Saber, Lancer, Archer, Caster, Assassin, Berserker. There's one more. Rider. I couldn't recognize Rider. I don't think.
You have to see our Rider.
Well, we got to see an outline.
Yeah, we got to see.
So
that
I didn't really.
In that dark,
it looked like
character look.
It looked like the horn guy.
Yeah,
the horn guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, Fujimaru wakes up in Fubuki City and it's on fire. And then he instantly gets attacked by Archer. And he gets saved by Mash, who, as it turns out, turns into a demi-heroic spirit.
Yeah, at the moment of her death, she was offered the chance to fuse with an actual heroic spirit. And, well, that's better than dying.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Maybe?
Yeah. But so she saves him from Archer's arrows. And then we see the director had also race shifted in, and she's being attacked by the skeleton things that I'm not even sure where those were from exactly, because normally those would be summoned by Caster, but Caster is not the same in this one. And Caster in this one was the only heroic spirit that was not corrupted, and therefore he would probably not have his I think they were golems in Fate Stay Night. He would probably not have his golems attack humans.
Maybe they were summoned by another master? A high enough level mage to summon golems?
Yeah, perhaps. Well, actually, no, because none of the masters were alive.
All right, yeah.
So I'm not even sure where those came from. I guess they were just there to put Olga in danger.
Unless it was our main bad guy.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe. But
it's not explained very well, and and you get to see that the director really doesn't seem all that strong, surprisingly. But
it's kind of the same thing that you saw with Rin in Fate Stay Night.
I thought Rin was powerful.
She's really not. They were using basically the same type of... It may not have been the exact same type of magic, but it was basically the same move.
Projectile.
I'm going to shoot.
Magic.
Yeah. I'm going to shoot. It's basically the same thing. It just seemed a lot more powerful in Fate Stay Night, because...
Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, Shielder, Mash, hops in and saves director, and they head off to figure out all of the stuff about the Holy Grail in that time, I guess. I think we also get a little bit more exposition on what happened. We also get a contact from Dr. Roman, and get an exposition on what happened over there. Nobody's alive anymore. Well, nobody's awake.
Yeah, actually, the only people that were missing were Olga, who ray shifted, Fujimaru, who ray shifted, Mash, who died, came back and ray shifted, and they couldn't find Dr. Leff either. And Dr. Roman says, well, he was standing right where the explosion originated from, which instantly just made me go, yep, he's the main bad guy. He totally faked his death. But yeah, so they start making their way out of Fubuki City, and they come across a chain, chains, webbed across. Which, see the chain, it's like, oh, Ryder. Well, it's not actually Ryder, she's Lancer, but same character.
Multi-classing.
Who is not using that. The staff sickle thing that she had was actually designed to take down shields. Because you'd hook it around the shield, pull it down, and then you'd push back up. That's how it worked. You got to get the shield out of the way.
Or get it behind their head and just pull forward, take their head off.
That's actually what that blade was designed for. And she's using the bottom as a... Anyway, it's a very annoying thing for me. I just want to point it out. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so Mash and Ryder Lancer have a fight. Yeah, Rancer. Have a fight against each other. And then Laster?
Lester?
Laster.
Yeah, Laster. Laster shows up, which is basically Kuchulan in caster form. And he dispatches of corrupted. Actually, we do learn that she is a corrupted heroic spirit.
As are all the other remaining heroic spirits.
But yeah, he dispatches of corrupted Rancer. And then he basically joins forces with the 3 from Chaldea, and they go to confront corrupted Saber.
Who's guarding the Holy Grail.
Who's guarding the Holy Grail. But, of course, they also have to fight against corrupted Archer. So they have a little moment of respite at the school. Of course, it's at the school. And then they split up, or they go to the cave where the Holy Grail is, and then they split up because Archer shows up. So Archer and Laster go to fight each other in the shrine. Of course, it's in the shrine.
I gotta say though,
it can't come up with any new locations.
Of course not. But oh my god, Laster must be one of my favorite mage characters ever. Just pure combat mage.
Well, Lancer finally didn't get screwed over.
Oh no. In fact, I think this made up for all the times he's been screwed over in the NASU-VERSE. He was that badass.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that's one of our first strongest mage characters in this, at least the anime. The caster for Fate Zero. This is just from my knowledge. The caster from Fate Zero, he really wasn't a battle mage. He was a more of a darker mage. blood mage.
Yeah,
He dealt more with golems.
Yeah.
Caster from Fate Night. Or
Fate Stay Night.
yeah, Fate Stay Night.
She was more of the kind of shady behind the scenes type character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She definitely wasn't a fighter.
Like her weapon's name. She was definitely a rule breaker.
Yeah.
Um,
But here we see a caster that is just like full out fucking battle
fight,
mage.
and I can summon shit, and I can just.
But
cast
I mean, you do have
offensive
to
spells.
consider which character they used
Exactly,
as caster
yeah.
in this. So,
But it was awesome.
of course, he's going to do a little bit of fighting. But yeah, that fight was really awesome. I don't really want to go in on a blow-by-blow recap of it.
Yeah.
pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should just watch it, I think.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, plot development aside, this is awesome.
Yeah,
They're gonna
that's
say.
for damn sure. It was a definite spectacle.
Yeah, but yeah, this I do think this could have been better as a series.
Or a full movie.
Yeah. It's either or. Well, let's finish the recap before we talk about the
great.
what exactly we thought of it.
As we
So the other characters, the three from Chaldea, they go into the cave and they confront Saber.
Yay.
That goes about as well as you think it would, considering that Mash is a demi-heroic spirit
And
that
Saber,
does not know what her noble phantasm is, and Saber is, well,
Saber,
fucking Saber.
but evil.
Excalibur.
Excalibur
Morgan.
which I assume has to do with Morgana.
Yeah, nice. Another nice touch to the Arturian legends.
Yeah. But yeah, so whole fight goes down, and like, Mash is basically being almost toyed around with the entire fight.
Freaking much. Saber just says straight up, "I'm gonna test your shield."
Yeah,
She didn't
and
even really want to fight her, I don't think.
yeah, and Saber uses her noble phantasm, her dark noble phantasm, against Mash's shield, and Mash is trying to hold up, and almost goes down, and then somehow Fujimaru gets behind the shield, which I'm not even sure how he did, because all that energy was hitting the shield and then dispersing around.
Yeah.
So there would have been no way for him to walk through that
And then
without getting completely annihilated. But
And then as they're holding the handle, he says the weirdest thing. He says, "I believe in you," and then for some reason, it uses a command.
yeah, he uses one of his command seals, and she's able to use her noble phantasm, which is basically a wall. She puts up a wall.
The wall.
The wall. The wall to end all. Insert Donald Trump joke here.
Right. But yeah, it didn't really explain that well, how that command was used or anything like that. And I'm not sure exactly how it would force her to use a noble phantasm that she didn't know how to use.
Right.
But
somehow did. And
that aside, it goes back to the whole, this would probably be better as a series so that they could spend more time on certain elements.
Agreed.
But so they use that, and then basically they hold off Saber just long enough for Laster to get there. And
This is the first time I heard of the plan, because I thought that Shielder or Mash was supposed to take care of Saber altogether.
Well, I think it was assumed that at best, maybe Laster and Archer would fight to a draw. But, yeah.
anyway, Laster shows up there and uses his noble phantasm, which is the Wicker Man. Which is basically a giant Wicker Man shows up, basically throws Saber inside of it, and then lights on fire.
Damn, son.
Yeah. So, they finish off Saber. She disappears, and then Laster disappears, too. I'm assuming that he probably ran out of magical power because he didn't have a master anymore.
And used it all on that last, his noble phantasm, I'd assume.
Yeah. Wouldn't be the first time in the Fate series that that's happened.
So.
Yeah. And then we're introduced to the actual main bad guy, Professor Left.
Definitely called it, Rizzo.
Didn't see that one coming at all.
At all.
And then, of course, you get the scene where the director does not realize that Left is a bad guy, even though it's totally fucking obvious, and she goes running towards him. And then comes the very fucked up part from this. Like, this was really, really fucked up.
Yeah, so you see Olga kind of running in there, you know, like a girl who really wants the D, and let's face it, Left is a sexy son of a bitch. But she's running, she's running.
So?
She's like, oh, I didn't say, oh, I missed you and all this stuff. I planted the bomb underneath your feet.
Yeah, so there was two fucked up parts about the way that Olga died. So there was the whole bit where he's like, well, I planted the bomb directly underneath your feet. So you're actually dead. And just in your moment of death, you were able to...
to ray shift.
Yeah, to ray shift. So if you go back, you will cease existing. Which is, I mean, that alone is really fucked up. It's like, holy shit.
Right.
What would you think of that situation?
Well, I guess I'm stuck in 2004.
Right? I'm never going back. Fuck that.
Nope.
And then we get basically a part where he takes like a stone that he got from Saber and Laster, and then he levitates her. And then just starts moving her towards the
portal.
The portal, which is showing the Chaldea.
Yeah,
Chaldea in present time.
And then he's basically like, "Oh, I'm going to grant your wish so that you can finally touch it. And if you touch that thing, apparently it will disintegrate you, and you will forever experience a painful death."
It's like a black hole, but.
It's supposed to be like a lens onto the future, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. So, yeah, going across space-time. Then you combine that with the fact that she returns to that time she dies. So in that moment, she's dying and trapped in there. So his statement about forever experiencing death is totally valid.
Well, it's also a supreme magical artifact, so I would assume that no touchy.
No touchy.
no touchy.
Instead, no, he plunges that bitch right into there.
Yeah, not just like, no. Boom!
Like,
and then, of course, you get the whole, dying. It was just a really fucked up scene. Like, really, really fucked up scene. Like, fucked up for the NASU-VERSE type fucked up scene.
Yeah, that was pretty messed up.
That scene was really fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, that and, like, Sakura's backstory. There you go. Really, really messed up.
Yeah.
But after that, Professor Left just left.
Yeah.
Almost living up to his name. Minus a T.
After declaring that he is going to destroy all humans, he leaves.
Yeah, I mean, like he says, the future didn't disappear. It was incinerated. Giving zero fucks.
Yeah. He also says that he's a personification of 2016.
That would explain a lot.
What a terrible year. So that was kind of interesting. Then Dr. Roman basically says, "Oh, hey, you need to return right now," which is kind of handy because the cave's collapsing.
Mm-hmm.
So Fujimaru and MASH return to the future.
In probably the most weirdest way.
Yeah, basically she's like holding the shield above them, and the cave's collapsing on them. Then right when the last piece collapses, it goes dark, and then we see Fujimaru waking up.
So did Chaldea get the
Man, that guy wakes up a lot.
Well, the reason why I was like in the weirdest way is because Fujimaru.
Yeah.
Fujimaru wakes up in bed and runs out to the Chaldeas?
Whatever it is.
That thing.
Runs out to that room and happens upon a mash that basically just spawns.
I don't think so.
Well, to her, she seems like she just got there. And that's why I felt that this was a very weird scene. Because Mash's reactions didn't really match what was going on. Dr. Roman's reactions didn't really match what was going on, other than the fact that he was like, okay guys, could you stop hugging there?
Yeah, to me it seemed more like Mash had, like, they both returned earlier, and then Mash went down there to kind of look at the damage and all that.
Which is amazing.
And which is why Dr. Roman was there, because maybe they were talking beforehand.
Yeah,
that's what it seemed like to me.
Hopefully, Roman was explaining to Mash how they got him back with all the stuff for ray shifting looking to have been destroyed.
All I'm saying is a little explanation would have been nice, because that was confusing.
That's kind of the whole thing about this TV special. But so Fujimaru sees Mash. You of course get the deep hug there.
Deep hug.
And that pretty much sets them up. They're shipped.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You saw that coming.
Yeah.
But then Dr. Roman explains that there's 7. So there's 7 more moments in time that they need to go to.
Just like the one in Fubuki.
Just like the one in Fubuki City. And so that's kind of setting up an adventure continues, and maybe they'll make a series out of it.
Series or another set of OVAs.
Yeah, or a set of OVAs or something.
Yeah, then pretty much like from that point, we get like a preview of what's to come, really.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like that, but
Yeah, you kind of saw it was like a card flipping through different time zones, different
silhouettes of different heroic spirits are going to have to fight. And I mean, it almost makes this seem like a 72-minute PV.
Yeah, kind of. It's like one of those movies from back in the day that you could tell was setting up. It was a pilot for an animated series.
Right.
So that's basically what this seemed like to me. Now kind of going over the whole thing, the biggest thing for me was they didn't explain enough.
They didn't explain like anything.
They didn't explain
it just
anything.
happened, really.
And I really felt that this would have worked better as a series completely because yeah, well there wasn't enough character development, which obviously with a 72-minute TV special you're just not going to get.
Yeah.
So like we had a long discussion kind of between when we finished the TV special and when we started the discussion, where we were talking about Olga as a character and why she ends up being completely unlikable. And for me, her death was impactful just because of how fucked up it was. But I didn't really care that much about the character itself.
I think that's a good way to put it. In the in between, I put it in a horrible way. But the death itself, like her dying, I give a shit less about. Like, in fact, while she was sitting there running up to Professor Leff, I was like, she's gonna get shot
or something, right?
or something. This is too weird
preferable.
And too out of character. But the way that she died was graphic and horrible.
Yeah.
But I was expecting her to die in the first place.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is sad and annoying, and you could have done better with that character because I want I want to like that character
Because
because
to see her become a likable character.
yeah, I like the character design. I like what she's doing. But there was just no time for it.
Well, she's very clearly a Hime Dara character, but all you got was the Hime
Yeah.
and no Dara. Or, I mean, you saw little glimpses of it right as she's running at Professor Left.
Or you start to sympathize on her right before she gets incinerated.
The only time that you actually get to sympathize with her is when she was like, oh, I've never been praised, no.
Why does this always happen to me? Nobody's ever praised me before. And then she plunges. Yeah. She plunges into the Chaldea and screams while she's being incinerated.
It's painful, yes. It would have been better if you chose a different character archetype, or if you actually spent some time actually making us like the character.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean,
Like the way that they were going with that setup, I really did honestly, like right up until she was plunged into that thing, I really did honestly think, oh, they're going to bullshit save her somehow. Because of how they were setting up that character. So.
wasted potential.
Yeah.
Firmly wasted potential.
But that's where we stand.
Yeah, other than that, like, it was a really, like, awesome bit. I was really glad to get back to the NASU-VERSE because it is kind of one of my favorite
fandoms.
Favorite fandoms, I guess. Because I really like the Fate series, or the Fate franchise, I should say. But I also do like the Tsukihime franchise as well, which takes place in the same universe. So,
if they are going for a setup for a next season, I'm thoroughly going to look forward to it. However, that is mostly because I'm in love with the fandom.
Yeah.
It actually has nothing to do with this OVA. You know, I would have been much, much better if they announced a second season than started off with this tacky...
Comparatively lackluster.
I mean, it was a spectacle, but it's a 5 out of 10. I mean, it's so average.
Yeah.
The story itself is pretty average.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm starting to feel, especially based on the ending, this was just a 72-minute PV for the real stuff. Which will only be much better in the storytelling department. But again, it is what it is. That was definitely worth watching.
It was definitely worth watching. I'm hoping that this is kind of like the Battle of the Gods Dragon Ball Z movie, because in the anime series they changed a whole bunch of things to make it more coherent and understandable. So I'm hoping that they did that, and I hope they go through this again because I am thoroughly lost.
Yeah.
Especially with the Chaldea stuff. It doesn't really make much sense.
Yeah, they really didn't have... I just think that they didn't have long enough to set up everything like they should have.
Yeah.
So, that's... It was... To me, it was just a touch disappointing, to be honest.
Especially after all the hype we've been hearing about it for like good load of the past year.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
I mean, probably a lot of it has to do with my own personal hype because I was very much looking forward to it. But and I'm just looking through our anime chart here to see if maybe there was a announcement for anything, but I don't see anything in the to be announced. So I guess we'll keep an eye out for it, and
if it comes out, you'll definitely be happy to know that we will watch it.
We will continue, yeah.
Because Fate.
Yeah. Hopefully this is just a PV for the real stuff.
But that about wraps up for this time on Anime Reaction. Happy New Year's. I'm Zero.
I'm DK.
I'm Rizzo.
See you next time. Go ahead and click on my face to go to our most recent Otaku Saga Talks.
Click on my face to go to Otaku Saga Gaming, our gaming channel.
And click on the waifu to subscribe to Otaku Saga and check out our new and improved Patreon page.